Right, let's kick things off then. So to start with, thank you very much for coming tonight, everyone. Hopefully this will provide you with all the information that you need for the World Scout Jamboree. So we'll do a little bit of an introduction to start with, and we'll start with the motto for the World Scout Jamboree, which is dreaming big, dream wild. And obviously this presentation and where we are tonight is to try and make that happen. And we're starting with now. So we'll start with the run through for the evening, a bit of an agenda. So obviously we'll introduce ourselves. We will then take a look back at the last Jamboree, which happened in 2019 in America. We'll then tell you a little bit about what we know so far about the 25th World Scout Jamboree. We'll have a little look at what your journey will be like from now, obviously, until the event. Then we will talk about showing your stripes, so what we're expecting from you, and then we'll have a little bit of time at the end for some questions. Okay, so to start with, let's do some introductions. So my name's Emma Hambleton. I've been selected as the unit leader for Unit 53, which is going from Greater Manchester West. So I do my scouting over in Lowry District. I am a beaver leader and a cub leader, and my international experience was a couple of years back now. I managed to go to the World Scout Moot in 2013, and that was in Canada. And then a year later, I managed to go on my Explorer Belt in Macedonia. So that's me.
I'm Richard Gould, and I'm a scout leader over in Altrincham. I'm also the ADC Scouts for Altrincham District. My international experience, I've been lucky enough to go to Candlestay twice as a young person, and also I have attended the 23rd World Scout Jamboree as a participant, which was held in Japan in 2015.
Hello everybody, my name's Adam Richardson. I'm a scout leader over in Goulburn, so Wigan District. Been doing that for quite a long time. My scouting journey started when I was very small in Beavers, so I've come all through the different sections. Now, the international scouting experience, I've never done any county international camps, but I have been lucky enough to be part of the leader team who's been to Candlesteg twice and also to Buitenzorg in the Netherlands. Thanks.
I'm Isabel Brett. I help out at a cub pack in Ermstone, and so far I've not had any international experience, so this is a first for me as well. So we've got a quick video to show you about the 24th World Scout Jamboree that took place in North America in 2019.
Won't you stay, at least until the sun goes down? When you're gone, I lose faith, I lose everything I have found. Heartstrings, violence, that's what I hear when you're by my side. Ooh, yeah, that's what I hear when you're by my side. Ooh, but when you're gone, the music go whoa, 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 whoa. I lose my rhythm, lose my soul, whoa, 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 whoa. So hear me out before you say the night is over. I want you to know that we gotta carry on. So don't let this be our final song. So don't let this be our final song. So hear me out before you say the night is over. I want you to know that we gotta carry on. So don't let this be our final song. Baby, when we were young, there was nothing to make believe, and the songs that we sang, they were written for you and me. Melodies on repeat, that's what I hear when you're by my side. Ooh, yeah, that's what I hear when you're by my side. Ooh, but when you're gone, the music go whoa, 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 whoa. I lose my rhythm, lose my soul, whoa, 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 whoa. So hear me out before you say the night is over. I want you to know that we gotta carry on. So don't let this be our final song. So don't let this be our final
We
So
can't hear
there's-
you.
Yeah, sorry. So there's never a dull moment while you are there. So we've got some testimonials from some participants that went to that jamboree. So Diane has said that the whole jamboree process was an amazing experience, and she's grown so much as a person because of this. She'll never forget the friends she made and the adventures experienced. Mark has said that it was amazing to meet so many people from so many countries. Hearing about everyone's journey to the World Scout Jamboree was intriguing and eye-opening. And we have a full length from Gemma, who unfortunately couldn't join us tonight. So Gemma has said that the Jamboree is not something you can really explain in words. Jamboree is an experience. My experience of Jamboree is by far the greatest time of my life. You complete so much every day, both activity-wise and socially, that it is hard to comprehend how much you physically do. I would honestly sell my soul for another week there. Jamboree is not just a few weeks you spend abroad either. It is the 18 months prior in which you create lifelong friends. It is also the years after you spend together. My Jamboree was in 2019 and I still see my friends weekly. What you get through as a unit is a rollercoaster of emotions, and you have such a strong bond with everyone around you. Again, this is something that is honestly not comprehensible until you are a part of this journey and surrounded by your new Jambo family. The build-up of having to fundraise your money may sound challenging, but there is so many people out there willing to help, so we never let it become an issue. Our group were amazing at organising collective events and working as a team to raise all the money we needed to. Additionally, the lead up to and camps that you do makes it easier to create friendships. Some of her highlights were waking up at 4 a.m. to go and queue for the world's longest zip wire, running through New York famous water fountains, hiding vegetables in their rucksacks whilst they crossed the Canadian border, doing a mountain assault course, the excitement of having fresh showers when they went to the Washington Hotel and the closing ceremony. It is ironic how you expect the activities to be the highlight of your trip. And do not get me wrong, without the activities, Jamboree would not be the same. But without the culture and friendships, it would not be a Jamboree. Looking back now, I see how much people flourished and grew as people. Even the quietest people, I promise you, will never shut up whilst they're away. And that's the best part. So someone on their Jamboree team actually managed to teach 1,000 people a yo-yo trick, and he was one of the shyest people there. For me, I knew my Jamboree experience was the climax of my life so far, when on the very last day of our trip, we pit stopped at Niagara Falls and everybody was in a stunned silence. Experiencing moments like that with your Jamboree family really puts in perspective how lucky you are to have this opportunity. I really recommend anyone who is thinking about applying to 100% apply. It will honestly change you for the better. Still to this day, Jamboree was the best 3 weeks of my life. Honestly, having to write this is so difficult, which is surprising because I can talk about Jamboree for days, but having to write the way this trip changed my life isn't possible. I loved every minute and would not have changed one bit.
Okay, thanks, Izzy. We've had a great look back there at the video from the last Jamboree in America. Coming up now, we've got the next video for the South Korea World Scout Jamboree. So this is on YouTube, but if you go onto YouTube and you search World Scout Jamboree 2023, there'll be plenty of other videos for you to watch as well.
In August 2023, a new world opens. A fun festival held for 12 days. The dream of youth around the world to Saemangeum. Draw your dream. 2023 Saemangeum 25th World Scout Jamboree. A gift from nature. A living and breathing treasure. A mysterious story that has held for tens of thousands of years. Beautiful heritage awaits you. On the stage of passion and dreams, having a happy dream. 2023 Saemangum 25th World Scout Jamboree. In the endlessly unfolding Saemangum, dreams of youth bloom in a new way. Mountains, sea, through thrilling adventures on the river, through delicious experiences, through a fun experience. Beyond pleasure to newness. Only at the 2023 Saemangum 25th Scout Jamboree. Smarter. Safer. Enjoy more conveniently. Festival of Scouts around the world. 2023 Saemangum 25th World Scout Jamboree. Now, here as one dream. Meet the Festival of Unity. 2023 Saemangum 25th World Scout Jamboree. Preparation for the future of youth around the world. A bigger world will open in 2023. Draw your dream. 2023 Saemangum 25th World Scout Jamboree.
Right, so you can see from the video, there's a lot planned in there. There's a lot going on, an exciting time. The Jamboree is going to be a massive event. It's going to be intense, and it is still around about 21 months away. So whilst we know the big picture, there is still a lot of planning and a lot of detail to come through. And you can see the dates there on the slide. The core date is going to be the 1st to the 12th of August, 2023. We do recommend, though, in all honesty, for your planning purposes, I would block out pretty much the full month from late July through to late August. There will be possibly a pre and or a post Jamboree event where we get together with the other people from the UK contingent. And as well, you know, it's going to be so crazy. You're going to be tired when you get back, so I wouldn't be planning anything for the immediate return. Where it is, it's in Saemangum, South Korea. It's about 300 kilometers south of Seoul. So that's going to be a bit of a coach journey when we do fly out there, a bit of a connection to get down to the Jamboree location. That in itself is part of the reason why we can't at this point be exact about the dates. It's a logistical challenge just to get 40,000 people into South Korea and a fleet of coaches to get them all down to the Jamboree site. In terms of who it's for people who will be 14 to 17 at the time of the Jamboree. So those birth dates are pretty key for us. A few days either side isn't gonna work. It's very important that we get the right people applying though for that. If you are a little bit young for this year though, please do keep an eye on the website. You know, there is a Jamboree every 4 years, and if it turns out that you're going to be a little bit old for this Jamboree, I think applications for the service team have now opened as well, so that's another option for you to get involved. And finally, the cost. The Jamboree is not it's not a cheap event, but you know, the estimated cost we've got there at the moment is that £4,000. Now that will cover all your travel, your food, your accommodation, your activities, and we also hope that it will cover the cost of the planning camps and the training camps which will be going on in the run up to the Jamboree, where we all get to know each other. Okay. So a bit more now about the Jamboree location. You'll have seen in the video there that if you've picked up on it, at the moment, it's pretty much an empty site. So over the next couple of years, the next few months, they're going to be building the Jamboree site, but it's 300 kilometers south of Seoul. It's in a South Korean national park. It sits in between the sea and the mountains. So it looks like a really nice place. Apparently one of the national pastimes in South Korea is hiking. So I'm sure that fits in well with us all as scouts. And just a little bit as well about South Korea. You know, the culture is going to be completely different to what we're used to up here in Greater Manchester West. You know, just looking at the video there, you saw the houses, everything is just very different and very, very, very exotic. So it's something to really look forward to. As a country, the culture is heavily influenced by China and Japan. It's very polite culture, a lot of respect for your elders and a lot of good table manners being a key part of the life over there. And the couple of final points on the slide there, the temperature of what we can expect, 28 degrees in August. So expect a hot summer camp, expect a hot Jamboree. Okay, thanks.
Right, so on to the on-site life. What can you expect from attending the Jamboree? So as you heard from Gemma's testimonial and from the videos, there's going to be loads of activities put on. There might even be so many that you might not get to do everything, but it's not just about the activities. It's about meeting people and learning about where they're from and their background in scouting and how that differs from ourselves over in the UK. It's also about attending the ceremonies in the evenings and on the days. There'll be events on every evening to keep you busy, and they'll have different themes, such as there'll be cultural days, where you get to go around and learn about other countries and other cultures. It's also about meeting people, you know, chatting to other scouters from wherever they are and finding out, you know, what's different for them and what they had to do to get to the Jamboree. And then also it's about working as a team, because we're going to be out there for nearly 3 weeks. So we've all got to get on well together, and we've all got to, you know, enjoy it. There's also, as Adam suggested, there's going to hopefully be a pre and post Jamboree event. Now, looking at the past Jamborees, one of the events usually is a city visit. So we might be visiting Seoul for a couple of days, and we get to experience that as a tourist. And also another part of the Jamboree usually is what they call home hospitality. And that's where we get to be hosted by a local scout group. And they spend a couple of days showing us around and show us their country from their point of view. So you really get to see their country and culture from a local's perspective, something that you don't often get to do when you're on holiday. And the Jamboree journey, so as we've also suggested, the journey is from now until after the Jamboree. It's the 21 months of the event. It's not just the 3 weeks while we're out there. And it all starts now by attending this presentation. Thank you very much for all coming. And we'll also learn about that participant selection a bit later on. There'll also be the training events that we talked about. So they might be every other month or so. There'll be unit socials and also fundraising events. The socials might be day events, day trips. They might be evening meals out, but it'll be something to get us all mixing together and working well and building those team building skills. And the fundraising events, some of those will be as individuals, some of them will be as small groups, and some of them will be as a unit. There might be things as charity sales. You might be doing some food and drink selling, and there's loads of activities and ideas going around for those. There's then the on the event, so there's 3 weeks while we're out in South Korea. And then finally, there's also the post-event events, such as unit reunion camps and reunion socials, and also thanking all the supporters that helped you get out to South Korea. You might also want to present to some local groups that have supported you in getting out there, and also to teach the younger sections, specifically Cubs and other scouts, about the Jamboree and how good of an experience it was. And we've got those underlying themes, the building the relationships, the personal development, working towards the top awards. That could be a Queen Scout Award or the Chief Scout Platinum and Diamond Award. Those look really good on your CV, on your application forms to colleges and universities, and not many people get them. And by going on a Jamboree, you're ticking off a lot of the requirements for that Queen Scout Award. You're also going to have a chance to inspire others and get them to know and learn about the next opportunity. And also you might want to do programs with other sections.
We know it's been around for a while, and obviously I'm hoping that we're learning to live with it. But obviously this is just to kind of make you aware that obviously this is still on the Scout Association's mind, and obviously they are working in terms of policies and insurance, obviously if it were to continue and we're still out in South Korea. So obviously as soon as we have more information about these, we will be letting you know. But obviously it's something that we're keeping in mind. And obviously whilst we are out in South Korea, we will be following any form of government or international guidance and restrictions to keep us all safe.
So what are we looking for? We're not looking for this well-rounded person that can do absolutely everything. They've been to all the events. We're looking for the people that will benefit from this experience. So we want people that will work as part of a team, because if you aren't a team player, you are not going to enjoy your experience at all. I think we've got 18 months together until the Jamboree, and then we've got time after that. So you need to be a team player to get stuff out of this experience. You need to be fully committed because, as we've said, the price, it's quite a lot. So we need to be committed to our fundraising so that we can achieve that end goal of however much they'll say it is. We want people that will give back to their local community and their scouting groups. That may be that you join as a leader afterwards, or you go and do presentations to inspire the next generation. Like I said, we want the people that will benefit. I want people that can think big on the key global and local issues, can dream wild on how to tackle these issues, and can act together as a unit and as a worldwide movement of scouting. And your background will not be a barrier to you attending this event.
Okay, the selection process, well, started already. You've come to this this presentation. Hopefully you've registered your interest on our website. So the next step is to submit your application. Now the application date, as you can see there, is the 15th of November. Please take your time with that submission. Do your very best to sell yourself, to explain how you could work together as a team, how you could just promote yourself really as a scout, and how you would help the daily life of the Jamboree run. This is not a first come, first served event. So like I say, please do your best to make sure that you really do sell yourself on that application. And then us as the leader team will start looking at those from the 15th onwards. It is then quite a rapid process. We have a selection day on the 27th of November at Dunham campsite. So we will let you know that whether you've been lucky enough to get through to the selection day the week after you send your submission in. And that selection day is going to be where we get a chance to meet the young people face to face. They get to meet us, and we get to do a few team building activities, few games, few activities, just really to see how we all gel together and how we work, to give us a bit of a feel of how we could go forward as a Jamboree unit. You will then find out by the 3rd of December whether you've been lucky enough to be selected, one of the 36 people, because that's how many spaces we've got for this unit. We would, of course, love to take everyone who wants to go, but it's unfortunately just not practical. So the lucky 36 people will find out at the start of December, before Christmas. And then we will have another meeting where we all get together face to face, Saturday the 18th of December. And that'll be the point where we all truly see each other as Unit 53, where we get to see the people who are going to be on this Jamboree journey with us for the next 21 months and beyond. Thank you.
Right, and on to some dates for the diary for 2022. So thank you, Adam, for clarifying the dates and the selection process for this year. And then we're going to start 22 off with those lucky few that are selected. With the unit social, so we all get a chance to meet each other and to learn everyone's names and find out about everyone before we go into our first training camp, which will be that week, the first weekend in February. There'll be then another social, another training camp, and that's all to learn the skills that we need to go out there so we can all gel and get to know each other and get on as a team. And then also there's things like the potential fundraising. So the cardboard canoe event that County run, which is a big successful event every year. And there's loads of opportunity there to earn some fundraising money to help us all go. And then also we've got in the Jamboree for 2022. So the Jamboree is a mini Jamboree training camp. And we understand and we know a lot of scouts and explorers might not have camped for more than a weekend. And that Jamboree is 7 days. So it's a mini experience that we're going to all get to do. And we're going to really see who can, survive the full 7 days, who gets tired after 3, who's not a morning person. And it's a good practice for the actual Jamboree, so we don't become overwhelmed. And it's great fun, and they put activities on all through the days. They put evening events on, so it's a big full event. And there's about 5,000 people that go to that, so it is a really good taster. And this is just the start of the diary and the dates. The rest of the dates we will publish as soon as we can, so you can all get them marked in your diaries and get those weekends, booked in.
So we know everyone's experience is going to be unique to you. Obviously, it's all about what you put in. That's what you're going to get out of it. So obviously, as we've already mentioned, it's about you being a team player. It's about you being committed. But obviously, we can't really sell this more than we're already doing. There's nothing like going on a Jamboree. You only get one opportunity in your life to apply for one. Unfortunately, I missed out, and that's why I had to go to a moot. But obviously, we would definitely recommend that you apply for this because it is an absolutely amazing and fantastic experience. So yeah, that kind of sums everything up. So we'll have, I know obviously we've been answering some questions in the chat already, but if you can think of any more, just pop them in now, and we can answer them.
Just while those questions are coming in, a touch on the price. The £4,000 is also that figure because we support the poorer countries and the less developed nations get out there. So we can help less fortunate people go out to a Jamboree, experience it, learn from it, and take that buzz that they're going to get from a Jamboree back to their home country and give back to their local scouting community. So be it through the sections they're running, or be it through the sections that they're currently in. It's a really good way of us supporting, other scouting from around the world and those that are less fortunate than ourselves.
So I can just see a question there from Kimberly in regards to improving your child's chances. I think obviously it's about, as we've already talked about, it's the application form. So there's 2 questions on it, but obviously it's about trying to sell yourself, obviously talk about your experiences. Don't worry too much if you've not had any form of like international experiences or anything like that. It's about kind of talking about what you can give back, what you think you're going to benefit from, and that kind of stuff. And obviously, if you're lucky enough to be selected for the selection day, again, it's about selling yourself. We'll be looking at you interacting with other people, and obviously, most importantly, looking at how you are in terms of your teamwork and things like that. So obviously, there are a couple of tips for you.
Jump on the applications. I think I've answered one already, but there's approximately 70 applied last time for 36 places, and we're expecting probably the same, if not more, again this time. That's for Lee Suter.
Yeah, I think we've got another question there from Simon about how much you expected to raise yourself. Obviously it is down obviously to you. It's your responsibility to raise that money, but we are all here to support you with that fundraising. It's you will obviously have your local support around you wherever it is that you scout in your group. You'll be able to tap into them, obviously because you've been in that group. It's likely that your leaders have seen you grow and go through that group, so they'll be more than happy to help you out with fundraising. We're looking at trying to get some support from obviously districts as well, and we will be obviously working towards like some group fundraising events with all 40 of us, so you won't be on your own. Obviously we are here to help you with that.
So to touch on
sorry.
fundraising, oh, go on, Ashton.
Sorry, I was just going to say about the fundraising as well. That's going to be one of the things we talk about in our first camp, really. When we know who we've got and where they're all spaced around the county, we tend to, or in the past, what has happened is people have got together in mini fundraising groups to help each other locally. So hopefully that'll ease the burden, you know, gives everyone a bit of support from each other to try and raise that money.
So as Adam said, you can do it in groups, but however many will do it, say 3 of you go in a group and you raise £300, each young person will then get £100 from that fundraising. So you are individually fundraising, but you can do it as a team. And so Gemma Rust, who we heard a testimonial from earlier, managed to create a business from her fundraising. So she completely covered her cost, and then she fundraised more, and that was then shared between the rest of her group. And I think she went on to raise something like £20,000 just by creating a sweet stall that sold slushes at events.
In terms of the fundraising towards going to the trip, so that £4,000 is for that young person to attend South Korea. We as leaders have to fundraise exactly the same amount, and any money they fundraise, they get to keep. It doesn't go towards, you know, other people. It's if they fundraised it, it's for them.
I think one for, sorry, for Kimberley, who decides who goes, and that's down to the selection day, and the unit leaders, which are Richard, Adam, Izzy and Emma, because ultimately, and I think this answers Dominique's question, they are the 4 that will be taking the 36 to South Korea. So you'll basically break up into patrols of 9 with an adult leader with each patrol.
Just seeing a question there from Miss Woodcock in regards to obviously if your child's going to be doing their GCSEs in the run up, obviously we try and put all kind of events up and the dates for things kind of well in advance, so obviously we will be prepared and obviously you will be prepared. Obviously if it turns out that we've got events running, you know, during exam season, obviously we will be more than happy to accommodate things like revision and stuff like that, and it might be that instead of coming for a weekend you just come for a couple of hours, obviously still, so you're still getting that experience, but obviously you're not there for the full like weekend. But obviously we'll be flexible with you as long as we're in communication with each other and obviously we're sharing those dates and things like that. Yeah, we can be as flexible as possible.
And I'm sure many people will be in the same position of those 36 young people.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. We would make sure we plan events sensibly as well. There's no point us planning an event, like we say, if Izzy says all 36 people are going to be doing exams at around about the same time. So we wouldn't plan an event if we knew no one could come.
So for narrowing it down, that's all down to our selection day. So it's going to be the 4 of us and other people that are going to come and assist us in deciding who has sort of the characteristics that we're looking for, who's a team player, who gets on with people, who's joining in. So it's all these things. So then we'd all be discussing it, and from that we'll then decide the 36 young people that we're going to take with us.
Just answering a couple of the questions about how many people go, and also relating to the question about how many people go with the unit. So the Jamboree, there's going to probably be around 40,000 attendees, and then also there'll be around 10,000 IST or international service team. They're effectively the helpers that run the activities on site and make the camp keep going and moving. From the UK, there's about 5,000, as Adam's put, and that'll be, they're spread out units across the whole of the UK. So some counties are sending 2, some are sending 1. Also, just quickly covering based on experience, how much fundraising covered the costs for each child. So I'm not entirely sure from the America Jamboree, but from Japan, when I went as a participant, the majority of the people in the unit fundraised the full amount to go. So we covered all the costs leading up to it, and so it was, you know, not much really out of your own pocket by doing those regular fundraising events, and also teaming up with others. So you'll be doing some individually, some as a group, some as a unit. And also you'll get to try out what works for you in your area and what doesn't, and then stick with that and keep them going. You just got to keep the momentum going to get the fundraising going.
To answer the question about the applications, it's the most of it is your details and your normal information that you would submit. We then have 2 questions that can be written down or they can be recorded. That is maximum 600 words for both. It's just asking why you think you should be selected, what things are you proud of in your scouting journey so far. We also then have a question about, are there any accommodations that we can make for you to access our event? So Joseph, it is very much open to you. And we will just work with you to accommodate whatever additional support you will need.
I think that's part of the reason why we're planning nearly 2 years in advance. As Izzy said, there is no barriers. So if someone's got mobility issues, still apply. We can work with that. If someone has to take medication regularly, you know, they don't need to be worrying about whether they can get 3 weeks worth of medication through customs. We've got 2 years, nearly 21 months to plan this. And this is exactly the kind of thing we just want to find out upfront, understand, and we can sort it. That's the way we will do.
Fabulous. Anyone got any more questions? No?
No, we're still waiting for HQ to confirm everything. Obviously, I think there's about 90 units from the UK going, so that's the 5,000 that we've said. So we obviously have to organise 5,000 people to travel to South Korea. So that's working with our airports and their airports. So we're still not sure what the travel arrangements are, but as soon as we do find out, it will very much be shared.
Thanks, everyone. If anyone does have any more questions, if you can obviously come and email us. If you visit the website there, there's some more information on there. You can also email our general email address, which is, if I get this right, WSJ at gnwscouts.org.uk. Yeah, someone's put it in the chat. Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks, Jacob. I was about to do it. So I think we've decided that we will have a sort of a reserve list, but it will never be shared with anyone. It'll just be kept sort of with county and with the leadership team. So if unfortunately someone may drop out, which I don't think's really ever happened, and it's very rare to happen, we then will know who is our next on the list, who narrowly missed out maybe, because if it's 6 months, 12 months down the line, we're not going to remember every single person that was on selection day that wasn't selected. So we will have the reserve list, but we don't want to keep people holding on and waiting. So it will never be announced.
Fabulous. Yeah, just as Jeff said in the chat there, obviously, yeah, it's very rare that anyone ever drops out, really.
It's such a unique experience that you wouldn't want to
give that up. Yeah.
Hence all the stressing on commitment right at the start. Really,
yeah.
You know, you've got to be in it. You've got to be in it wholeheartedly. You've got to make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, there will be a waiting list. It's just not going to be announced for you, Kimberly.
Just because it'll be unfair to keep people on hold, wishing and hoping, you know, that they can go. And as Jeff put, no one in the last 3 has ever dropped out, because it's such a, you know, a unique and one-off experience that takes a lot of commitment and effort to lead up to the event.
So we'll know someone drops out because us as a leadership team will message the next person on the list, but as obviously people have been saying, it's very, very unlikely that that will happen.
But if they don't manage to get onto the Jamboree, there are other international events that county run, probably even one event a year. Districts also run events, so that's how Adam was able to go to Candlesteg with his was it district or group. I've been with district to Switzerland and Candlesteg as well. So there are other international events out there. All you have to do is get in touch and we can add you to a list, I'm sure, and you'll get notified as soon as the next one does come available. There'll be Explorer belts, there'll be international moots. There are options out there. It's not just about South Korea. It's
Fabulous. If no one's got any more questions, yeah, we'll leave it there. Oh, sorry. It's a final one from Dominique.
Yeah, so the application, there's 2 questions and both are 300 words, and that's maximum. So you don't even need to fill that. We're not going to be judging on the amount of words used. It's going to be the quality of what you're saying, really. We're not looking for that perfect grammar, the perfect English. We're just looking for you to sell yourselves.
Yeah, can even be bullet points. We're not fussy like that.
And the 2 questions are right at the beginning of the application form. So head on over to it, copy them, paste them in a Word document, type any notes, any thoughts there, come back to it, and then fill the rest of it in. It's nothing to worry about. 2 questions, 300 words max. We had to put that just because we didn't want a whole paragraph, a whole page from people. It's, just really sell yourself and say why you want to go. No trick questions.
Probably worth pointing out that that's exactly the kind of process the 4 of us had to go through about 6 weeks ago to get selected as well. So it's we've seen it from the applicant side as well. So we're looking forward to seeing lots of applications and looking forward to reading them.
Brilliant. Right, so thanks everyone for attending. Obviously this will be put on the website when we finish recording. So if you need to, you can come back and refer to the presentation for anything. But again, thanks again for your time.